Hello, my name is Paul. My ham radio call sign is AA1SU. In part 2 of my Zenith Trans-Oceanic rebuild, I'm going to replace all 3 dial strings in the radio. When I get to the 3rd string, it will become apparent that it had been replaced before and it was too tight. This was the main source of my problem. I was having slippage in the dial towards the bottom end of the dial, and it wasn't going all the way to the left of the radio. But you will see how I managed to put it all together and get rid of the slipping. Okay, welcome to part 2 of restoring my Zenith Trans-Oceanic R600. Today I'm going to put on a new dial string. I have new dial string from Bob's Antique Radios in Illinois, and got 25 feet. 0.028 diameter, 25 foot length string. I'll put a link to that in the area below. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move the dial all the way over to the left for reference, and then I'm going to take out these 4 screws, and there's a little spacer right behind this that you can't lose. So let's do that. Take off the knobs. This is a 1/4 inch socket I have on this little nut driver. And when I pull this out, this little spacer might drop. Okay, I got this off. And, oh, there it is. This is the little spacer. It's hard to see it, but there's a little space there you can't lose. Goes up behind there. So there's 3 strings on here. One comes off the tuning shaft, goes around here, and back down around this 2.5 times. This one goes around here 1.5 times. And then there's another one that goes around here, up across here, back down around a roller, and back down here. I do have a map, diagram. You can kind of see what I'll be working with. Kind of describes what I was just looking at. Now the reason I'm kind of want to do this is I actually got the string to jump off the track one time. I went all the way to the left, and just exercising it back and forth, I got, which one was it? This string here jumped the track. Plus it's just kind of old. I thought it'd be a good time to do it, although it looks relatively good. But just to be safe, I'm going to try changing it. I've never done this before, so I'm a little nervous about it. But I just was watching a video by Radiowild. He explained how to do it. So let's see here. Let me collect my thoughts and I'll get started. Alright, I'm in a little closer now. I think I'll take this one off and move it out of the way, and then do the one that's right behind it, which is going to be a bit of a challenge because that's the one that's wrapped 2.5 times around that, down behind there. So I think I'll take this off. So it's 1.5 times around that, then it's in there. So put that off to the side. Take this one off. What do we got here with these little rings? So the The string looks like it goes around these little rings. I doubt I'll be able to duplicate that, but I noticed on Radiowild he just eliminated those and used glue. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and cut this. Now he tried taking the dial string and pulling it right through there. Let me give that a try. Okay, I tied my string. There it is. I'm a bit too close to the string that's already on there. Let me zoom this out a little bit. I seem to be blocking it. Let me cut off some of this excess knot here. And see if this works. Radiowild could not get this to work. The knot just kind of kept binding it. Okay, I got it to work. Good. Okay, so I got that to come through. Okay, I'm going to pause this and heat up my soldering iron. Okay, heated up my soldering iron to make it easier to cut the string without leaving any frays. I went ahead and attached the one end of the string to the spring and knotted it, and I may glue that in a minute, and ran it around the wheel. So I got to figure out how much string I got to cut it. I can't make it too long or too short. Let's see, I'm going to put it right about there and then give it a little tug. Let me just make that a little tighter. So I'm going to go right about there. Cut enough string off to make a knot here. Use my soldering iron again. Alright, let's see here.
And then make a mental note of where I wanted this to be. And just grab it. And I had to do that. A little bit tighter. Yeah, let's try that.
I'm going to pause for a minute. Okay, I had to pause there while I got it on there. I do have it on there. I actually found it easier to go ahead and hook the spring up to the clip and just kind of pull up on it. And it seemed to hold while I was able to make the second knot. So let me go ahead and take off the excess string here with the soldering iron. Now I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that to hold it like I saw in another video. So let me open up my thing of glue here. See if it's working. I think it's working. Put a bit of glue on both of those knots. Just to hold them. And so now the air capacitor, also known as the bread slicer, is moving just fine. Still a little bit of slippage. I've seen videos where people actually take a file and make grooves in the shaft, not in this radio but in other radios, just to prevent the slipping. See how that slips? I don't like that, but It's an old radio, I'll have to deal with it. Okay, now we'll do the string that goes around here and around here. Now I noticed there's some kind of a knot there. Maybe they did that later on to keep it tight. That's the part that hooks here. And then the spring hooks here. Comes up through there and out around there. So I will get this, this is on there pretty good. I'll get this spring detached from the string and move on. Okay, I got the string off of the spring. So now, oops, kicking the camera. We'll tie the string around the spring. With my fat fingers. Oh, Christ. Okay. So now that was here. 1.5 times around this. And inside there, then back around down to there. This is going to be interesting. So I notice in the picture here that if you look real carefully right there, you can see that they do have that loop from the factory, the one that's like this. So I guess I will try to duplicate that. I did manage to get it to go around that tab, and it's 1.5 times around this, and it's kind of just hanging freely over here right now. But I think I'll take that back off and make that knot that it was showing. And boy, I need a lot of room to do this. Oh man, you need little fingers too. See if I can duplicate that. It's a little too big. Okay. So that was there. Came like that. This was 1.5 times around the smaller one, right? Like that. I'm gonna pause this and figure out what. Okay, I got it looking a little better now. I had tried to loop the bottom one around the extra turn, but I really needed to loop the other top one around the extra turn. And I noticed that it actually put a little extra tension in this spring, and may actually be perfect. So that's pretty good right there. And so I'll bring this around, cut it off, and tie it right about there. Let's get the old soldering iron out. Give a little extra leeway here. See if I can do this right through here. Look at that. It's not even on there. Hang on a minute. Okay, I've got this double knotted. To do that, since it's so tight in there, I just took the whole spring off and took the whole thing off. Kind of like the original is around here somewhere. This thing here, whoops, I kicked the camera. That there. And I double knotted it around the spring. As soon as I took it off, one of them slipped off the spring. And then it took forever to find the opening in the knot to get it back onto the spring, but I did. So that's on there. And now I think we'll just take our soldering iron, cut off the excess, and find our glue. Put a little dab of glue on there. Excuse me. There, we got a little dab of glue on there. And now this travels. Let me take the zoom off of this. Side to side. I don't see any jumping in the string. Tension's good. So now I have one more string to do. And the tension's good on that. I thought that was a little bit too tight. It was way up here, but it seems to have settled down. So good job there. So I'm going to take a pause and have some dinner and come back and attack the third string. Okay, let's see if I could just start by just taking it off in one piece. Yep. So it looks like that goes around. One full turn. Okay, it goes around a one full turn before it gets tied off down here. Okay, I have that string out. I will work on removing it carefully. Actually, it feels like it's... not sure why it's glued. Yeah, okay, good. That glue broke right off. Good. It's nice and clean there. I don't think the glue's necessary on that because I have another R600 and it's not glued. Alright, let's see here. So next I gotta get... that looks like it may have been replaced already because it doesn't have one of those rings. Let's see here. Oh, got that off. Okay. Alright, now I'll get out some string. Stand by. Alright, while the soldering iron was warming up, I made a loop in the new dial string, similar to the old dial string. Put a little piece of glue on there. Drop of glue, I should say. Now we'll kind of measure this out and then add a little extra to make a knot and account for my fat fingers. There's the end of it there. Let's just go out. Don't seem to be getting this. There we are. It's a trick I learned from the guy that sold me the capacitor kit, is to do that to keep it from fraying. Alright, so I don't know if I can do this with the camera here. Let me move this all the way to the left. what the purpose of doing it that way was. Alright, let's try this again. This is why I practiced. Radiowild said it. He had to turn the camera off for 45 minutes to do this part. Okay, there. That was my knee. Okay, I got around that. I get around this roller. Then around this roller. Then around this roller. Then back into the wheel. Just turn it a little bit so I could see. Okay, that's not good. There. Right, basically, pretty close. I'm going to get my spring out and tie it off. Which end was it on? Okay. I might pull it all out and do it out in the open. Let's try it there. I'll just do one knot. See if it looks like there's enough tension. It's a little too close. Okay. Everything looks like it's still on there. Let me go back all the way to the left again. Okay, I am. Alright. Let's redo this. Well, I got it on there, but it's too tight. The spring is extended a bit too far. And when I turn the dial, it's not, it's slipping quite a bit. So I'm going to loosen it up and try again. Well, I think I may have done it. The spring wound up with almost no tension in it at all, and it works great now. I don't have any problem getting from one end of the dial to the other. At this point, I also put the dial needle back into the string here, because you can't get it in there once it's in there. I still have to put that into a double knot, but here I'll show you the travel. I got the face on there, just loose. Take it out of zoom. So now it's all the way to the left. And the top's out up there, right at 60. It goes all the way to the bottom. It's a little looser than I think it should be, but it works great. So I'm going to leave it. I'll put a double knot in that. And then when I go on to do the alignment, if I find that the needle's really far off, it's not impossible to move it now. Like say I find WWV at 15, and it's off a tiny bit. So before I start the alignment, I could actually move the needle a little bit because one, it's not glued, and two, I can just I can actually pull this string off of this roller, release it, move the needle a little bit. It will not move now. That thing did not need any glue before. I can't get it to slide in there at all. If I try it, it might break the new string. So I could just undo this, take the tension out of it, move the dial a little bit, and then you know, the indicator a little bit, and then put it back. So I'm going to put a double knot in this and cut off my excess and screw the front panel back on.